Let's talk about why classical musicians cannot improvise. And we start answering that question by saying, where do we get our music as classical musicians? What music do we play and where do we get it? And the answer is this thing called the repertoire. Okay? The repertoire. We all play repertoire. So if you are a singer, you might take a class called art song repertoire, or you might take string literature, which is repertoire, or keyboard literature, which is repertoire. Repertoire. Okay? In fact, our whole world is built around this idea of repertoire. It's what you play at your lessons. It's what you play for auditions. It's what you play for recitals. And I used to obsess about planning the repertoire for the perfect recital, the perfect flow of pieces from the repertoire. Even your identity as a musician, to some extent, comes from the repertoire that you play. So I remember my friend Daniel at Wheaton College Conservatory was telling me at Juilliard, in his studio, the teacher decided what you were. Well, you're a Schubert player, so you're just going to specialize in Schubert. And you're the Brahms guy, and you're the Liszt person, and you're the whatever, and you're the Bach lady, right? Okay, so your repertoire actually determines even kind of who you are as a musician. So what is this repertoire? It is an official list of pieces, more or less official. And I don't know if any of you have ever had this experience where you wanted to play something and it was a little off and you brought it into the lesson and the teacher looked at it cross-eyed and goes, well, this isn't really appropriate for the repertoire. Okay? My student brought in a piece by Gottschalk the other day. And I can't remember why he wanted to play it because it's a terrible piece. It's called The Union, and it's all these patriotic tunes mashed up and layered on top of each other, and actually the counterpoint is all wrong. It's really funny. And I said, this is not appropriate repertoire. Okay? It's also the music that gets played repeatedly, so we develop, we get to know it, so we know what to expect when we go to concerts. So I went to a concert, I'll just pick one out of my memory. In Riga, Latvia, I went to hear this French guy. And he played the Bach C minor toccata, and then he did the Beethoven Opus 111 sonata, and some Chopin stuff. It was kind of interesting. I thought about, I've never met this guy. He's a really good player. He's great. I know every note of this entire concert. I've heard all of this. I've either played it, taught it, or heard it. I know every single note of this whole concert. Isn't the repertoire interesting? I know every single note. Okay? And of course, it's supposed to have this permanent place in our musical world. Who is this mysterious committee of people that approves? What? How is this how it works? So anyway, I just think about stuff like this all the time. I need to sleep more. So how do we learn our repertoire? Well, we get a printed score, because that's where the repertoire lives. Okay? You get a printed score, and then you study it down to the smallest detail. Tiniest staccato marking, and every little... Is that a diminuendo, or is that an accent? I can't tell. They're the same shape. And so I need to go to the library and get a facsimile and call 3 musicologists and stuff. And if we do this well enough, it will lead to a realization of the composer's intentions. Okay, that's the point of the whole thing, to recite the composer's intentions as found in the repertoire and recorded in the score. That's how our world works. Welcome to classical music. Okay? And if I sound mildly bored, I am. So the music worth playing, somebody decided, is that of the great master composers. The intentions of these composers are encoded in musical scores. Performers are to study these scores diligently in order to realize all the details, and this results in approved works of the repertoire performed acceptably. That is, recited, because we are reciting something that's given to us. Like that French guy, I had heard every single note previously, So what he's doing, he's reciting it again. Maybe with a little twist on it or something, but basically it's reciting. We recite works from the repertoire.